Hello there, and welcome to Rugeley Trent Valley Railway Station. Now we just came off the 0652 off Rugeley Town, which was 350-104. That terminates here at Rugeley Trent Valley. But today's railway journey ventures me onto the former Woodhead Route by visiting the following principal stations. Broadbottom. Seriously, who called it Broadbottom? Dinting. I like to sniff. Seriously, that's what it actually says there. Now, if you remember a video from last Christmas time, about 4 or 5 months ago, I did visited the following stations: Flowery Field, Hyde, Godley and Hattersley. And this video that I'm doing today is actually a continuation, and it's long overdue, of that video. So please, come on board as we venture the former Woodhead Route and ride some Class 323 EMUs. Hello there, SimOnTrains here. Or some people I call him SimOnTrains. Hi Cal. Go on, get lost. Or some people I call me SimOnTrains. I'm a rail enthusiast, and if you like trains like I do, and if you like visiting different railway stations like I do, this is the channel to be. When I look at different railway stations, I look at different trains. This is SimOnTrains Railway Journeys. And I welcome you to this service. So, the train that I'm travelling on calls at the Brutalism station of Stafford before it passes the disused station Norton Bridge, which opened in 1837. Passenger services were withdrawn in 2004 and closed completely in 2017. We're just passing a place called Madeley. Now we're cruising up the West Coast Main Line towards Crewe, because when we get to Crewe I actually don't have a lot of time there. I've actually got an 8-minute connection to come off this unit that I'm on now and join a northern service to Manchester Piccadilly. And I've got to do that in 8 minutes, but to be honest I can do that in 2 minutes, it's no problem. So there won't be much explained at Crewe, because that's why, because there's a tight connection to join the northern service, take me on to Manchester and then change at Manchester to get to Broadbottom, which will be our first station. On arrival into Crewe, we do see the West Midlands Railway Class 730 002 at Crewe LNWR depot before arriving into Crewe station. Before we arrive into Manchester Piccadilly, we pass the entrance and the station site of Manchester Mayfield Station, which is now a disused railway station. There's going to be a car popping up now because there's a video that I did on Manchester Mayfield on a Jonathan Schofield tour around this lovely disused railway station. Feel free to give that a watch if you want to. Anyway, we're arriving into Manchester Piccadilly now. So we're now made it to Manchester. We're now on the 0903 Northern service to Glossop to get to Broadbottom, which will be our first destination. So it's time to sit back and enjoy the ride. But there's one thing before I do though, is explain why these units are also known as hairy units. This is why they're called hairy units. Look at the hairs on these seats. So that's why in Sim0nTrains universe, 323s are known as hairy units. After leaving Manchester Piccadilly, after our hair-raising moment, we travel on the former Woodhead Route and we are speeding through Fairfield Station, which is part of the former Flowery Loop line. Now there's going to be another car popping up right now, but this time this is the video when I walked the Flowery Loop line from Manchester Central when I took a tram to Fairfield Station. So, the first station we are visiting today is Broadbottom, and I've got a question to ask you all. Which person named this station Broadbottom? Seriously, it sounds childish, to be honest. But anyway, this is a northern station. It has two platforms. We're standing on the Manchester bound platform. The other side is towards Dinting, Hadfield and Glossop. But it's a lovely station indeed. This is my first time being at Broadbottom, to be honest. I've passed this so many times, but I never stopped here to admire it, and it is beautiful indeed. So we're going to go a bit further down the platform, because I want to show you this lovely station building indeed. Because I'll be honest with you right now, that is a beautiful station building indeed right there at Broadbottom. I know half of the station building is actually a ticket office. I think the other half of the station building is a pub. So that is wonderful to look at. I think it's the original station building on the line as well. So I'm going to do the station's history of Broadbottom, and I'm going to carry on filming some more trains. This is now the station history of Broadbottom Station. Station opened by the Sheffield, Ashton-under-Lyne and Manchester Railway on the 10th of December 1842. It was renamed to Mottram in July 1845. 1st of May 1884 it was renamed to Mottram and Broadbottom. 1st of January 1954 it was renamed to Broadbottom for Mottram and Charlesworth, but the suffix was removed. The station had a wooden shelter, but this was removed in March 2021. And that waiting shelter was removed in 2021. It's currently where I'm standing at now, so the waiting shelter was just right here. But they have removed it and they replaced it, I think, with a new wooden shelter a bit further down on this platform. It's a very lovely station indeed, Broadbottom, but we're about to do something that we have not done for a while, and I think we're going to have a giggle on this. There's a gate just there. Don't we just love kicking gates? We just left Broadbottom Station because I've just noticed this path going down here. And why I've got, where's that path? There. And why I've got time, I'm just going to walk down this path, see where it takes me actually. Because I'm just intrigued, I'm just being a nosy person to be honest. But anyway, let's have a look where this path takes us. So that's where it takes us, just to some houses here. And there's a path that goes down there, to be honest. I can hear some flowing water. I do actually have a bit of time, so I'm just going to have a quick look and then get back on the station. Because my next train is going to be the 10:24 Northern Service, which will take me to Dinting. No flowing water here, just houses and cottages. So I'm going back to the railway station now, because as I mentioned, I'm catching that 10:24 to Dinting. I'll tell you what, that path is so steep. I'm worn out now. Before we arrive into Dinting Station, we are crossing over Dinting Vale and Glossop Brook over Dinting Viaduct. More information about this viaduct will come later on in the blog. Anyway, we're arriving at Dinting Station. Next station, Dinting. And you go to Dinting not seeing this coming, but I'm going to have 2 hours at this station, not 1 hour, because I'll explain why in a bit anyway. But you're looking at Dinting and thinking, hang on, it's 2 platforms, but I can only see 1 platform. Well, if I do this, and here's the 2nd platform at Dinting. Dinting is actually on a triangle junction, which where the lines of Hadfield and Glossop actually splits. Now Dinting has 2 platforms, and it used to have 4 platforms at one point, but 2 platforms are disused here. There wasn't a platform on the Hadfield to Glossop branch, which is just right behind me now, which you will see in a second because the 323 will cross that. So I'm going to do a station history of Dinting Station, build some more trains, and then after I've been here for the hour, I'm actually going to be leaving Dinting Station to try and find Dinting Viaduct and something else in the area as well, which I have an hour to look for them. Dinting Station was opened in 1842 by the Sheffield, Ashton-under-Lyne and Manchester Railway. When it was opened, it was named Glossop. The spur for Glossop was built from the Hadfield side in 1845. This is a quick map to show you how it would have looked like, and there was a platform on the Hadfield to Glossop spur. In 1847, a temporary station was opened on the present site, named Glossop Junction, but was built in 1848. Sometime after 1850 it was renamed to Dinting, and today's platform 2 wasn't constructed until 1884, allowing direct trade between Glossop and Manchester. I just remembered, this platform's not in use today. I just see the 323 go back towards Hadfield from down there, because they're only using platform 1 today, so all trains from Manchester are using platform 1, which is just there because they're going from Dinting to Hadfield to Glossop, then back to Hadfield, then back to Dinting. So every train today is actually going to be on platform 1. So you can just see how huge Dinting Station is. Platform 1 is on that side, which goes to Hadfield, and platform 2 is actually on this side, which takes you to Glossop. And it still is, because it once was a junction station that Dinting was, but it still is today because it's on a triangle junction. But you can just see how huge Dinting Station actually is. I'm now leaving Dinting railway station. I've got an hour to play with now because I'm going to be looking at Dinting Viaduct. But I'm also looking at something else because I'm going to be future-proof in this video, because if I don't look at it, people will be saying about this place in the comments. So I'm going to try and see if we can get to this place as well, which is hidden away. So welcome to a short SimOnTrains walking journey. Now I'm coming down this steep path right here and I can just see it straight away, even though there's some bushes in the way, but it's still a wonderful thing to look at from the ground level, we can say, because I've never seen it from the ground level before. But just in this direction now is Dinting Viaduct, and it does look amazing indeed. This is the first time I've actually seen this in person. I've been over it so many times, but I've never seen this in person before, and it does look beautiful indeed. I'm just going to take a bit more look at it. I just tripped over. Oh, my gorilla pod's broken. I'll just pull down the blog for the hell of it. I must have tripped over this part here. Not looking where I'm going. This is the impressive Dinting Viaduct. This viaduct is 119 feet in height and a total length of 1,200 feet, spanning over Dinting Vale and Glossop Brook. Opened on the 8th of August 1844 with timber arches. However, these were replaced by wrought iron girders in 1859, but the viaduct had to be strengthened between 1918 to 1920 with 7 brick strengthening piers installed. But sadly in 1855 the viaduct has also seen a tragic incident, which I'm going to talk about now. Honestly, that trip has better be worth it. And this was a trip indeed. Oh, it's alright, some birds. You can just see here, you can just see on the forearm how grazed it is. I don't think you can make it out from the trip I just had. But anyway, behind me is Dinting Viaduct, because I do actually want to talk about this viaduct. Because there was a tragic incident that happened on the 18th September 1855. Now, a train was halted on the viaduct during the night because people were returning from Wakes Week. Now, Wakes Week is basically when factories, schools, everything closes and enjoy a holiday, basically. So those trains returning from Wakes Week excursions. 3 people left the train on that viaduct, thinking the viaduct was actually the station. The names of these people were John Healy, who helped a woman named Jane Hadfield off the train. But as they got off the train, they fell off that viaduct and landed about 70 feet down below. And as soon as they landed, they were dead instantly. And there was a third guy also that got off the train. His name was Thomas Priestnall, and he fell off the viaduct as well, thinking it was the railway station. But when he fell, he actually survived the fall. But an hour later, he died at Dinting Station. It was a very tragic indeed what happened on that viaduct. So after that, they decided, because the signal was on the viaduct, they moved the signal back towards Broadbottom. And it was very tragic indeed, to be honest. 3 people lost their lives. So we now looked at Dinting Viaduct, the history of when it was built. And there's a train just going across now, which is beautiful to see indeed, over the viaduct. And we also talked about the tragic incident that happened. I've got 30 minutes left on this hour to look for what I'm going to find. But I'm looking for an old engine shed. for the Dinting Railway Centre, somewhere in that direction. So I'm going on an urban explore now to try and find it. So I just climbed that embankment, and for God's sake, there was a path just here. That was hard to climb that embankment, but I found what I'm looking for. Right there. Dinting engine shed just there. Found it. Now to look into it. So we just found it. It's just right here. This is Dinting engine shed. Just right behind me now, I found it. Now this is where the Dinting Heritage Centre used to be, until it closed in the late 80s. And they did store steam locomotives here as well. I'm going to have a quick look inside, and then I'm going to make my way back to the station. Got to get there back for 12:30. You join me in Hadfield now because I had to recover from that walking journey, well, mini walking journey I did, which almost really messed me up because I did trip, and seriously my left ankle here is hurting a little bit. But I took some Nurofen and it should be alright now. I should be able to finish the rest of this blog and start the next blog on it. So that trip really did hurt me, to be honest. But I was on the floor, laughed it off, to be honest, because I had the camcorder on me, so I thought, well, I might as well laughed it off. And there was a guy who walked past me while I was on the floor blocking. And yeah, thank you for helping me up. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about today's journey to Dinting. Because we caught the 6:52 off Rugeley Town to Rugeley Trent Valley, 7:09 off Rugeley Trent Valley to Crewe, then a 7:48 from Crewe to Manchester Piccadilly. There was no problems at all, everything was fine. And then 9:03 off Manchester Piccadilly to Broadbottom. Broadbottom Station was our first location, and everything was fine, no problems at all. We even kicked a gate, which was lovely. But the station was absolutely beautiful indeed, and we even had a nose round Broadbottom as well. So after we left Broadbottom, went to Dinting, had an hour filming at Dinting Station, no problems at all. I actually do like Dinting Station, to be honest. But I'm not liking the walk to Dinting Viaduct because, like I mentioned, on the way I actually tripped and fell and really hurt myself. But I still kept going, still found the viaduct from the ground level, which was brilliant to look at indeed. And we also found the railway centre at Dinting Railway Centre, where there was a heritage site there for steam trains until it closed in the late 80s. And they walked it back to Dinting, but I ended up here at Hadfield. So the next journey that I'll be doing, part 2 on Thursday, is actually going to be the following 2 stations, which one of them is actually here. Hadfield, Glossop. So if you do like this video, feel free to give this a like, feel free to give this a thumbs up, which is a like still. Feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel SimOnTrains. Let's see if we can get to 5k by December subscribers, and feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments indeed. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and if you walk to Dinting Viaduct from the railway station, don't trip. Thanks for watching, stay safe. On the bag and landed on the Greggs, but the Greggs are absolutely fine indeed. What's in the Greggs?